Gloria Hassall Show with your host, Gloria Hassall. So this program is sponsored by Gladness Essentials, the Gloria Hassall Foundation, Sunny TV and Kane Pharmacy. Today, I've got my beautiful guest, Jagdeep Kaur, and we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of working from home. Hi, Jag.
Hi, Gloria.
Welcome to my show.
Thank you.
I'm so pleased to have you on my show today.
I'm happy to be invited to be on your show as well. Thank you.
Thank you, darling. Okay. How do you think life was in general, like the work culture before COVID?
I feel like the work culture was you wake up early in the morning, you'd be in a routine, you'd get to work, you'd work all day, and then you'd again be traveling again to come home, and then it was the same thing again. So it was just the constant every day waking up, having that routine and going to work.
So basically, talking about that, how was that? Like, that felt normal then, didn't it, back in the day?
Yes, because when you go to work, it is like you're doing it either 9 to 5 or 8 to 4. And most jobs are like that, where you have to go in every day. So it was like, it was just the norm that you have to go in, because a lot of roles are customer faced roles, and sometimes, with this job though, it was more like it would be office based, so I'd have to go in every day where your managers can monitor what you're doing at all times.
But then there were still some jobs that people were still working from home pre-COVID, wasn't there?
I think most of the office workers, they were working from there. I think if you're ill, there was like exceptions for some employees, but most employees were, if you would be employed office based. So there were people who were on my team, but it was due to illnesses that they could not commute to work every day, and then due to the experience with the company, they were given that exception because they're not well. So if you can't, if you were able to, or you're disabled, but you can still do the job from home, our company couldn't kind of discriminate anyone, depending on whether they had disability or an illness, but it didn't prevent them from doing the actual job.
So this was the norm pre-COVID?
Yes, so you'd have to just go into the office, or most jobs are like that. You have to, whether you're working as a sales assistant or in a bank, or most of them are customer-faced roles where you have to be in work.
On site?
Yes.
What was the transport like then? Like maybe peak time or commuting in the mornings and stuff?
I mean, when I first started commuting, it was really, really bad, because you needed to be 25 miles or above in order to get a car parking space on site. However, because I didn't fall into that radius in the mileage, I had to park off site, which meant an extra commute of 40 minutes, although the off-site car park was only 10 minutes away. But I'd have to catch an extra bus, park my car, catch an extra bus. And I'd say that sometimes I'd have to wake up at 6 o'clock or even earlier than that in order to get to work for an 8 o'clock shift. And that's coming in a car and then catching a bus from the off-site car park to the workplace. If I had to catch the train and another bus, I probably would have had to wake up some kind of ridiculous hours, like you're looking at 4:30, maybe even 5. Because it's not easy to get to where we were based, which was near city centre in Birmingham, and from where I live anyway. And then after a couple of months I was doing that, which was really, really hard, because you got to remember that the commute then adds, so let's say it takes you 2 hours to get there, or 2.5 hours to get there, that adds, you're looking at 5 hours a day to your day of work.
Wow. So how long was your shift? How many hours was your shift then?
My shift, I did 37.5 hours a week.
A day. How?
A day, you do 8 hours a day.
So that's plus another 5, really.
Yes. And then
That's
when
like 13 hours, isn't it?
yeah, and then they gave me a space at the offsite car park, which made it a lot easier because I could cut another 40 minutes off my commute. But the only thing is that when you're traveling through peak, so if you're coming from 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock around from my area into the Birmingham city centre, it still take about an hour or something. So let's say I want to get there for 8 o'clock, I'll make sure that I have to leave at 6:30 even from here. Because as soon as it's hitting 7 o'clock,
The traffic is just
it's just horrendous.
madness.
Yes. But if you come any times after that, it's all clear. The motorways, it's just in peak time. It's just horrendous. And then it's almost like you're wasting your time in that period.
Wow.
As well. So it did take me quite a long time to commute there.
And I reckon this was probably the norm for a lot of other employees as well. And I think the trains and the bus stations were also choked, weren't they?
Yes, so I wouldn't have I was lucky that I had a car, and I didn't have to do like
The bus or the trains.
buses and the trains, because if the bus is too full or the bus comes late, all these things determine everything as well. And like sometimes even if the train was full, it'd leave you behind. Or if
the bus,
so like with these things, things can go wrong. Things can go wrong with a car as well, but sometimes I'd be stuck
reliable, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think I've been lucky that although we moved that far, I could still commute there, which was not too bad.
So I want us to talk a bit about relationships in the office before COVID, before the lockdown and everything. When you go into the office, because you're physically on site. I want us to talk a bit about relationships.
Yeah. Well, most of the people, 90% of the people that I met at workplace, they're team players, they're kind people, they're good people. You'd go to work and you'd have a good time, whether you're standing in the canteen or whether you're standing in the kitchens making coffee in the mornings, and just all that interaction helps within the day. Rarely would you meet someone who's like standoffish or not really nice, to be fair. Like when you're at work, most of the people that I've met through work were good people, and it was good like seeing them every day, interacting with them. You build a bond, you build a relationship, you build friendships as well. Like there's a lot of people that over the years, like I've worked with the company that I work for since 2013, and I've made so many great friendships. And a lot of the friendships, even if them people are no longer with the company, they're still my friends, and that just shows you, like, doesn't matter what kind of walk of life you might have come from, or we're all one. We might have different job statuses, but no one's better than anyone else. And I think going into that kind of way of thinking, you always make friends, and you'll always keep friends as well. So I've met a lot of good people coming to like receptionists or cooks or cleaners, or I met some really, really good people
over the years.
Yeah, and they're all in different statuses as well. So I think it depends on how open you are. There's a lot of people who are not open, but it could be because of their experiences as well. A lot of people, they shut off if they meet bad people, and then they sometimes don't want to make friends with other people, so they close off in a way. And I've done that previously as well, where I'm just like, maybe all people are bad. If you might think that though, because you might meet a few people who are not nice, but I just, but then you're closing yourself off to the good people in life as well. So the only people that miss out actually are you, because you miss out on these good people being in your life and being a good friend, and you're also like, they miss out on your friendship as a good person.
Yeah.
And like I do think that I speak to a lot of people from even like on different sites across different contracts, and sometimes they'll come onto the phone and they'll talk about what's going on inside, what they're feeling mentally. And sometimes I feel like not everything has to be about work. Sometimes people can talk about how they feel or have no one to talk to, and having someone to talk to sometimes can lift you up and also bring you out of maybe the way you're feeling as well. Sometimes people don't want advice, but they just want to talk to someone and just let whatever they're feeling out. So I think sometimes just letting someone talk or just be themselves is a good thing. So I've met a lot of people from different lives and walks of life, and they've just spoken to me about how they feel, and it's good. And sometimes you get not so good people, but I think deep down in everyone there is some goodness, even though sometimes they might not show it all the time. So with your managers and senior management, they might not show who they are, but there must be a softer side to them when they're with their families or with their children. Or
you just need to be able to tap into that softness.
Yeah, or maybe they don't want you to tap into that softness, so then you let them.
So
then you just let them be, because at the end of the day, everyone's different.
Yeah.
So you shouldn't fall just because I might like talking to people and getting to know people. Not everyone's personalities are like that, and there might be reasons for it. And there might be good reasons for it as well. So I just think everyone's different, which is also a good thing, because then the world would be a boring place if we were all the same as well.
So you've got to know the person and just work with them, relate to them as they are.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, really what you're saying is going in helps you to bond with people, create relationships, as in being on site.
Yeah.
This is pre-COVID. And also good for your mental health, isn't it? Because you're talking to people, so it's sort of helping you. You're going out as well, so that's helping your health as well, because you're exercising, you're having that laugh, that's good for your soul. So these are some of the good things pre-COVID, like going in physically into the office. Okay, thanks, Sam. This is all we have for you today. So thank you for joining us and watching us. I hope you've learned something. So this program is sponsored by Glandis Essentials, the Gloria Hassall Foundation, Sunny TV, and Kane Pharmacy. You take care, look after yourself, have a blessed week, and I'll see you next week. We'll continue this discussion next week. Take care. Bye.
Gloria Hassall Show comes your way every Saturday, 7 p.m. on Sunny TV, with your host, Gloria Hassall, to break down the importance of addressing and discussing issues like current affairs, marriage, culture, economy, health, wealth, and education on Gloria Hassall Show, 7 p.m. every Saturday on Sunny TV.